that there are some times where sexism is very beneficial to men.
G'day, snipers. This is from Australia, and you're listening to Not For Radio with Jay and Dunc. In the famous words of Gandhi, take it easy, and if it's easy, take it home.
One of your fellow Australians, Chopper, fucking you beauty.
That's
Welcome back
so
to Not For
good.
Radio.
Yes. G'day, legends. How's it going?
Fucking great, man. We always love having you back in New Zealand.
Yeah, it's good to be here too. I like sneaking across the ditch, getting away from the madness.
There was a clip that was doing the rounds recently about an Alsatian attacking a Bichon Frise and a guy furiously finger blasting its ass to make it let it go. And I
Fucking
think
hell, that
I
was
thought
hectic.
about you and you travelling.
That's straight where your mind went.
This is
Just
a
a guy,
this is a tough
two
segue.
knuckles deep in a
there's a-
Bichon Frise. Actually, which one was he doing?
Alsatian.
No. You start off with a Bichon and work your way up to the Alsatian.
So the reason why it was because this is
Not only
this
is
is
he being attacked, it's been left out.
so in my mind. So if you've got a criminal record, and when you're traveling, and so this is how my mind went. I was like, boom, 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 and then obviously there's the crossover. Anyway,
What
but
did you get locked up for?
Dog fingering, transatlantic transport, chopper, done.
Let's see how you got there.
yeah.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right?
Yeah. Okay. So, for those of you that are unfamiliar with your work, fucking welcome back from the coma. It's been the best part of almost 2 decades now, hasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, people are like, how long have we been doing this now? And I'm like, shh, don't make me say it out loud.
Yeah.
That'll just ruin it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been a good couple of decades. There was 4 or 5 years there I kept my old boss's phone number just in case I had to go crawling back. But screw you, Rick.
Because it's kind of like the new shows are harking back to the beginning of the old harden the fuck up.
Oh, yeah, it's like
How?
it's like walking in on a man sucking himself off. It's circular. No, it's all intentional. It's like tying up loose ends, revisiting old things, 20-year callback in the making, that kind of stuff.
Does it feel like no one's listening though? You're like, fuck, I'm still saying this shit and no one's listening. Like, here I am, trying to wring people's necks and punch some sense into them from the microphone.
Well, I mean, the best I can hope for is that anyone who comes to see the show's listening, and that's been good. But until I start getting a 100% strike rate on New Zealand's population in terms of show attendance, you guys are in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once everyone in Rotorua comes to see the show, tick, then I can move on.
The show, The Last Hard Bastard on Earth, is the year is 2030. Humanity is all but wiped out. And there's only one man who can save us from the psychotic
The soft cockalypse.
I would like to see this movie. Keep going, Jay.
For too long, we thought that things like gentle parenting and love languages and paper straws were a good idea until self-diagnosing whingers and 37 types of milk destroyed civilization. Then, like a glorious mustachioed phoenix, a hard bastard arose from the beta cuck ashes and to restart humankind. Strap the fuck in, New Zealand. Chopper's back just in time to live again. And in all honesty, everything that you do is wrapped in humour, but it's straight down the middle. Like, it is almost like a National Geographic documentary, but just with a comical lean.
Just with a spicy vocabulary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all I can do is make my way through the world and then tell people how fucked they're being. Really, that's
Just refreshing.
that's my job, yeah, because I feel like humanity is a never-ending conveyor belt of dumb fuckery and shithousery and just, like, fuck. Anyway, but now that, we're in a woke nanny state, the only thing I can do is talk about it. I used to be able to get out there with a bloody cricket bat and
Sort people out.
adjust some behaviour.
Get some home runs.
Pavlovian response going to the old kneecaps.
This is the last bastion of that, a verbal kneecapping that you can deliver.
Actually, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm thinking about setting up a business. You know, when you go on holiday, some real touristy spot, and there's a guy there with a bit of paper and a board. He's like, sit down, and he draws your family and he makes fun of you.
Yeah.
I've decided to do that, but just as a verbal caricaturist. So you sit down, you give me $10, I'm like, you got a weird head. Your daughter's got a shit nose. She's ugly. Her ears are too big and her eyes are too close together. Do you want me to do your wife?
Oh, fuck, it'd be good.
Once again, you joke about it. fuck, that'll make some money.
Hey, saving paper, bloody love it.
Was there an offensive restaurant that was in Auckland?
Yeah, I was talking to a guy while we were in Australia last week, and he goes, those motherfuckers, because you'd go sit down and you pay basically to be abused. And so you sit down and they come around and they're really dismissive. Have you seen these restaurants?
They tried one in Sydney. It was a Karen restaurant.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It lasted all of fucking a month here as well.
Yeah,
but they just sit down and you go, I'll have a double cheeseburger and fries, and she's like, nice one, you fat fuck. Which is,
I mean, the thing is, the
Harsh
first
but true.
month of that is all the people who are like, let's see what it's like. And they all go and they do it once. But the only people that come back time after time are the real perverts. You know what I mean? Like, that's their long-term audience, is just people with hard-out proclivities, basically.
just feeding the chooks under the table while they get verbally
Exactly,
thrashed.
yeah. Deal with that, Karen. Sounds to me about that one.
The moral compass of Chopper is probably spinning just a little bit. But you remember that back in the day, there was, and people probably still wear them, but there was bracelets that said, "What would Jesus do?"
Yep.
And it would be WWJD written on them. I thought we could do what would Chopper do? So, and throw some scenarios at you, because the way that Chopper would deal with the situation is slightly different to most, probably. For example,
Very different to Jesus, too, I think. It's safe to say.
yeah, this is going to be chalk and cheese. Chopper, you're up north on holiday, parked your jet ski up at Pie Beach, come back from getting to Pie and some pricks riding off on it. What do you do?
That's when I pull out the little button in my pocket that says self-destruct. Watch the explosion and enjoy my pie.
Just on that, we were talking about people being. Have you ever been stalked? Or this is probably the wrong person to ask, but when someone stands over you for your shit, because it became quite a trend through the 80s and 90s where people would go, "What size shoe have you got?" And if your shoe size matched and they were bigger than you, you lost your shoes. And then there, off the back of this, we were talking about if you were, because there was a guy made famous for making fucking shoe bombs on planes. And so you get that guy's patent and you basically put these little inserts into your shoes and then you bait these people out and you fucking blow their legs off. And then you do that a couple of times. People stop stealing your shit, eh?
Yeah. Then after a while, it's just a guy crawling up to you asking for your gloves.
Oh, shit.
What would Chopper do?
The weird thing is, I was reminiscing the other day about how it used to be, crime was for, people who are willing to get out there and bash people. You're going to rob someone, you do it the old school way by looking them in the face. Now it's all this cyber crime and crap like that. And basically, instead of being robbed by, like, hard-out people, you go home and feel good about that. You're like, that guy was bigger than me. He could have bashed me. And now you go home like, that little dork in some computer room somewhere has flogged all my money. I mugged a guy the other day, and halfway through it, he was like, cool, retro. And I was like, oh, my God. Kids these days, what's going on? Oh, analog mugging, retro ads. I was just like, come on, dude, just give us your wallet. Yeah. Give me your phone. All right. No, I didn't say give me your phone. I said, I'll film it.
Chopper, you hire a tradie to fix your deck, halfway through, vanishes for 3 weeks, leaves behind 2 empty RTD cans and 1 jandal. What happens next in Chopper's world?
Oh, you finish your own deck, mate. What are you? It's a deck. It's not SpaceX.
Be a man.
Be a man. Finish your deck.
Finish your own deck. I don't know. If it's a bit splintery, at least you did it yourself, Also, where's this tradie gone?
Well, I think, maybe that'd be up to you to find out, I reckon.
Yeah.
And deal some justice.
That's why every time I get a tradesperson in my house, before they leave, I tie myself to the bottom of their ute.
Just because.
You're at a BP servo, last sausage roll in the warmer, a bloke snatches it right as you're reaching for it. What's your move? What would Chopper do?
I don't know. This is a tough one. I mean, once again, it seems like a lot of effort to mug someone for a sausage roll. Doesn't it? But yeah, probably do that. Wait till he's had a couple of bites. You know what I mean?
Get the rest of it.
He's just paid for a king size, but ended up with a snack size. I've got a little bit of fuel to get me onto the next bloody burglary. It's not ideal, but
You're in.
Or you just grab grab a cold one from the fridge and pop it in your bum crack for a few hours. Go for a jog. Warm it up old school. Couple of chicken wings in the armpits. Bit of symmetry.
You're in Ponsonby and someone tells you it's going to be $7.80 for a flat white. Do you pay for it or do you bring back the barter system of justice?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. A flat white in Ponsonby, I feel like that's two mistakes you've made already. I don't want to help you out of this situation because you could have avoided this a bit better. I don't know. I mean, what are you drinking a flat white for? Milk's for babies. So someone the other day was like, oh, what do you think about paper straws? Straws are for babies. I don't care what they're made of. You know what I mean?
It's great stuff. What would Shopper do? We've got.
Basically, once again, at Ponsonby, you could, if you can't bash anyone in Ponsonby, what's the point of going to Ponsonby? You know what I mean? If you're going to be a bitch about it, go to K Road.
Where have you would, I mean, obviously, with your tour dates, there's basically no stone left unturned. Like, you are literally going from the nose to the toes of this place. That's literally right. From the far north all the way down to Invercargill. In previous trips, have you, and this is a question that's often asked, have you seen some shit get out of hand? Like, because we're quite a protective comedy audience, someone thinks it's funny to heckle. They've been watching a little bit too much YouTube. They have a crack at it. Somebody, not necessarily you, but takes offence within the crowd, tells them to shut the fuck up, and then it kicks off that way?
Oh, there was a weird thing where, I don't know if this is even bloody worth telling, but I'll give it a crack, and then we'll find out. Take the lid off and give it a sniff. Yeah, and some guy was carrying on like an idiot, and obviously I couldn't see anything because you want the audience in darkness because it's not about them. And anyway, so I was like, is that you? Shut up, whatever. And then all of a sudden the guy behind him stood up and stormed out and had a big tantrum, and it's because he wanted me to rip into him and I hadn't. So it was this weird, weird masochism things where he's like, oh, Chopper's going to be mean to me. And then I wasn't. He was like, no.
That's what he went there for, you to rip him out.
Yeah. And then when I didn't, he got all weird about it.
Fuck, that's so odd.
Anyway, yeah.
Comedy cucked.
Yeah, exactly.
We get sent these war stories, but actually we're inundated with war stories, and this one's been sent with you in mind from Henk Tate, who's part of what we call the Sniper Elite. He is an absolute weapon from South Africa. Still based in South Africa?
I think I was going to say Henk Tate, South African for hang tight, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be back in 5 minutes. Just Henk Tate here for a bit.
Oh, fuck, you're good. You should get me going. Hank sent us a few, and they're always pretty on. What's he sent this time around?
All right, category, : people in powerful places. All right. True story, ! Thank you, Hank, for telling me how to do my job. A friend of mine has been living in Dubai since 2002. Oh, that's weird. It's proper hot in Dubai, hey?
I've never been.
Yeah.
50 degrees Celsius.
Halfway. You're basically low and slowing yourself the entire time you're there.
If you're if you're ginger and you walk outside in Dubai, you just burst into flames. If you're a ginger and you get off at the airport, they're like, all right, mate, if you insist.
This is on you.
Follow on with an extinguisher.
Yeah, join the queue that says albinos. Anyway, in 2016, one night, he went on a proper bender, like only a true South African can. What does that mean? Separating the bloody colours. Early the next morning, it was time to head home. Of course, he was drinking and driving. Not that I'm promoting it, just telling the story as it happened. I've always thought there should be a racetrack where drunk people can go for a drive. Get their kids and bloody pedestrians out of the way and just let them at it. Just put them in a 92 Corolla and just be like, off you pop, mate.
Here comes Steve. He's 23 beers deep in a VL Commodore.
Every time you do a lap, you're going to take a shot. There's a courtesy bus there, but there's not one home, if you know what I mean. Oh, sorry. He hit it roundabout a bit too fast, and bam, straight into a black Mercedes G-Class. Back then, those already cost around 250,000 New Zealand dollars. The Merc had blacked out windows and no number plates. Shaken, he got out of his car, only to see three of the biggest guys he'd ever seen get out of the G-Wagon. In that moment, he thought, I either run or fight to the death. He didn't run.
He didn't run.
Fucking idiot.
Oh, is this the best start of a eulogy you've ever heard? One of the big guys just said, get back in your car. Go home. We'll take care of it. They followed him home. There you go. Still cacking himself. Oh, that's bloody South African business, isn't it? That means to poop yourself, right? Yeah. He pulled in. They took him inside, parked his car out back, and gave him strict instructions. You can't tell anyone what happened. I was going to do the Dubai accent there, but I have no idea what it is. Don't leave the house for 4 days. Naturally, he poured himself 4 vodkas to calm the nerves. Passed out and slept it off. 4 vodkas, passed out.
What a pussy.
What a pussy. If he stood around at 40, would have get bashed. Anyway. Oh, I've just had 4 vodkas. Don't worry. The next morning, still unsure, it was all just a bad dream. He went out to check on his car, but not only was the car damaged, it was gone. How does that work?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, there's dents in it, and it's not here. It's either not there or it's got dents in it, mate. How do you know? Anyway, he thought maybe he parked it in front. Nope, he walked around, and there in his driveway stood a brand new black Mercedes G-Class. On the windscreen, an envelope. Inside, the keys and registration papers all in his name. Still confused, he phoned his brother, who works in a dealership and has access to car ownership records across the UAE. After a few weeks of digging, the truth came out. Turns out the person he crashed into was none other than the daughter of the King of Saudi Arabia. And women weren't allowed to drive at the time. If she was caught, especially being in an accident, it could have caused a massive scandal and potentially even put the King's reign at risk. To cover it all up, they replaced the car, hushed it, and for the next 6 months, my mate noticed he was being followed by 5 different cars. Friends in high places told him, don't talk about it. Not at home, not on your phone. Your place is probably bugged. Anyway, 7 years later, he's still driving the G-Wagon, still living his best life. Cheers, boys. Up the King. So there it is.
Fuck, that is wild.
There is a
Just, I think the moral to this story is, though, that there are some times where sexism is very beneficial to men. You know what I mean? This whole treating women as a second-class people has really paid off for this dude.
Mate,
Holy
that is a
shit.
wild setup. It's amazing how quickly things go pear-shaped over there. A friend of mine was teaching over there, and anything that you say against the king, you are fucked. Like proper in trouble. Like you go
Really?
missing. Yeah, you go missing within minutes. And so he was teaching a class. He was at a private school. And he was basically busting heads with some of the senior students, and they were just kind of like, "Oh, fuck off! We're not learning. You know, we're oil tycoon fucking billionaire kids. We don't need to learn your shit." And he was taking quite a hard Kiwi line on it. Anyway, he had his computer open. One of the tabs he had open was his Facebook, and one of the kids jumped on while he was talking to another one of the kids and wrote some horrendous, salacious shit about the king and published it. And he basically got a phone call within minutes from the head office, and they're like, "You're fucking in a car and you're out of here." They basically drove him through the night to get him across the border.
What?
Yeah, left his family there and everything. Fucking gone. Because he would have been buried up to his chin in sand and had rocks thrown at his head.
Yeah, far out. And that's not one of those, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger scenarios, is it? There's only one way out of that. Bloody.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you're an absolute weapon. Hey,
Yeah,
thank you very
thanks,
much for
Chopper.
that. Well done.
We're going out on that note, aren't we?
Yeah, just some motivational stuff.
Stoned to death for being a teacher with a Facebook account.
Yeah.
There you go.
There'll be,
Bit of justice.
There'll be people across the planet wanting to know when you're going to come and visit them. We'll put all your details in the show notes for today's podcast.
Not my home address.
Not the, yeah.
Do you ever go over to like the UK?
Nah, not to do shows.
Yeah.
Nah, it's ages away. Have you been there?
Yeah.
All they do is
Once.
complain about stuff. The only thing British people invented is bloody incest. Really. If it wasn't for people like the Romans and the Vikings sneaking in there, they'd all look like Mr. Bean. Their genetic pool is so thin.
Oh, fuck, that's so good.
Just people over there. I mean, half of them need a prescription helmet, but they can't wear it because they're totally chinless.
And on that note, if you would like to see Chopper, where's the best place to get tickets? Do you know those details?
Yeah, if my social media's got a little link in there. If it's Facebook, it'll be in the comments. If it's bloody Instagram or TikTok, it's in the bio. I don't know. And also the internet, just Google Last Hard Bastard Chopper. And if that doesn't get you there, I don't want you there, to be honest. If you can't use the internet to find a thing, I can't help you. You'll probably be stuck in your car for 2 hours, sitting in the back seat, being like, "How does this work?"
Good on you, mate.
Hey, thanks for having me again, lads.